Welcome to MOTOTREK. I'm Dusty Wessels, professional motorcycle instructor for West 38 Moto. Today we're going to talk about the dreaded sand. Some love it, some hate it. We're going to talk about the different depths of sand, from surface sand to 10 and 12 inches plus. We're also going to talk about cornering in sand. But first, we'd like to thank the Ridge for sponsoring this video. I've been carrying a wallet in my front pocket since I was 16 years old. Thank you, Ridge Wallets, for designing an awesome, rugged, tough wallet. It's the slimmest wallet I've ever had in my front pocket. The Ridge wallet is RFID blocking and comes with a lifetime warranty. I like using the strap to hold my cash, but it comes with a clip too. Thanks to the Ridge for sponsoring this video. When riding in the sand, you want to stand up so you can move your body around and be an active rider and influence the pegs to help direct the bike. You want your body position as neutral as possible. Only put your weight back to get traction to the rear wheel or help lighten up the front. Don't have too much body weight forward on the motorcycle because the front wheel is going to dig deeper into the sand. This might cause your front wheel to wobble and you could start to lose control. If you're new to riding sand or you're apprehensive about riding sand and you come across some deep sand, a human reaction for us, or what we go back to, is sitting down. Now, I wouldn't suggest you sit down for a lot of reasons. The biggest reason is it's just going to make you more tired and you're going to be worn out faster. So if you're going to sit down on the bike in the sand and paddle, put your feet on the ground, here's how you do it. Stick your foot as far forward on the ground as you can and pick it up when it gets to your foot peg. Do not stick your foot far forward and go all the way back. You risk injury to your ankle or your lower leg if it catches underneath your pannier. Also, when you're sitting, go slower. Don't go too fast. As soon as the sand gets to a depth that you feel you can go faster, pick your feet up, put them on the pegs, stand up and ride away. You're going to have much more control on a 500 plus pound motorcycle standing than you would if you were sitting. Relax. Sand is hard to ride for just about everybody. The key to relaxing your body is to relax your mind first. The more relaxed your brain is, the easier riding sand is going to be. Fight the urge to grip the bars. The bike's going to be moving around a lot, more than normal, more than it is in a higher traction environment. Keep your grip on the bars just tight enough so you can direct the bike where you want it to go. Steering is different when we're riding in the sand. You're not using as much influence on the handlebars to steer in the sand as you would in a higher traction environment. It's your feet on the pegs and a little bit of push-pull on the handlebars that's going to direct this bike. It's like a dance. We're pushing on the pegs in the direction we want to go to keep the bike as straight as possible. If you want to correct to the left, push on the left foot peg. If you want to correct to the right, push on the right foot peg. Maintaining momentum is the biggest key to riding sand. We've all heard, pin it and just lean back. Yeah, sometimes, especially on a 500 plus pound bike, that doesn't work all the time because you'll have obstacles or turns. The key is maintaining consistent momentum to keep the front wheel from digging too far into the sand. The best way to maintain momentum riding in the sand is to shift a gear up, which drops the RPM and reduces the wheel spin. In deep sand at high RPMs, avoid the tendency of slipping your clutch. Doing this can fry your clutch and won't help you gain momentum. Let's talk about the different depths of sand. So here I have just surface sand on a hard packed dirt road. Don't change a whole lot here. Yeah, you might get a little front wheel wobble if you get into the middle or if you get on the side where there's a little deeper sand. But here, just be flowing with the bike, be relaxed, all the balance techniques, nice and easy momentum control. To learn how to corner at speed on surface sand, watch our cornering at speed video. So in a little bit deeper sand, about 4 to 6 inches, the front wheel is going to move a lot more. This is where we start to feel the wobble that's caused by the front wheel digging into the sand. The tendency is to grab the bars and try and steer. Try not to do that. Loosen up a little bit. Have enough of a grip so you can still direct the bike. Remember now, your steering goes to your feet on the pegs. You want to go to the right, push on the right. You want to go to the left, push on the left. This right here is all about corrections. So instead of steering like you would in a higher traction environment, think of it as directing the bike. You're going to use your feet on the foot pegs to make corrections. You're also going to use the bars just a bit. Additionally, blipping the throttle in deep sand is another way to effectively steer the motorcycle. So steering with the throttle, you're going to push that front wheel up out of the sand by giving throttle input. In 4 to 6 inches of sand, the biggest thing I'm worried about in the corner, the thing that I make sure I pay attention to the most, is I know that that front wheel is going to get some wobble. I know it's going to dig in. But unlike deep sand, it's not going to dig in too hard. So what I don't want to do is dump the throttle completely. Keep your momentum consistent. Enter the corner with your body position neutral. As soon as you get into the corner and start to feel the front wheel digging into the deeper parts of the sand, that's when you may make an adjustment with your body, move your weight outside, move it back a little bit to get more traction on the rear wheel, but that's when you add throttle. Steer with the rear right through that corner. So now we're in 10 to 12 inches plus of sand. This is the depth of sand that gets everybody's attention, especially mine. I like to slow down here a bit. I might even downshift a gear. Here's why. Because in 4 to 6 inches of sand, I can go just about as fast as I want because I'm getting less impact to the front wheel. As soon as I get in deeper sand, I'm already getting more impact to the front wheel, but at a higher speed, if I get a couple of really big jars from the front wheel, that could toss me right over the front edge, and that risk is something I'm not willing to take. So I slow down a bit, but just enough to still keep my front wheel out of that deep sand as much as possible, knowing that I might have to make some pretty big corrections with the handlebars in that deep of sand. So when you're riding and you hit 10 to 12 inches plus of deep sand and you get into the corner, this is the place where that sand gremlin is going to reach up and grab your front wheel and shake those bars all over the place. So you need to slow down here. Slow down just enough until you really start to feel the shake. The problem with going too fast here is if you're going too fast, you start getting that wobble and you can't correct. Okay? So when you slow down and you start feeling that wobble, keep your momentum, add your momentum back, and to get out of the sand, to get out of that corner, this is where you steer with the rear. You got to add the throttle in. Once you've felt the depth, once you've got control of that wobble, hit the throttle, steer with the rear, get out of that corner. So what do I mean by steering with the rear? It's braking traction with the rear wheel, adding throttle. If you want to know how to do that, watch our braking traction video. Tire choice does matter if you're riding in deep sand. I choose a bit knobbier tire. A slightly lower tire pressure also improves handling in deep sand. Drop your tire pressure incrementally to find out what works for you. So here are 5 things to remember when riding in the sand. Stand up, relax, keep your body position neutral. Only move it back if you need more traction to the rear wheel or you need to lighten up the front. Be an active, engaged rider with your feet on the pegs. And most importantly, maintain your momentum with consistent and constant throttle control.